Let's break down the minimum levels for every hero equipment so you can maximize their power by starting with the Barbarian King's equipment. First up is the Rage Vial, and it's quite solid at level 1 as it gives your king a 120% damage increase, so you're mainly going to upgrade this for the hero boost stats and the movement speed buff that it gives to your king. So I recommend upgrading it to around level 9 for the great 140% damage increase while also gaining a good amount of movement speed, HP recovery, and hero boost damage. As for his Earthquake Boots, they are perfectly fine to use starting at level 1 since each level can break any level of wall at the max radius of 8 tiles, which pairs very well with his other equipment. However, if you're pairing this with the Spiky Ball, maxing this equipment out is necessary as you want the 40% bonus damage that will affect all defenses within the radius. The Vamp Stash is next and will require a minimum of level 12 before it can see some sort of significant use thanks to the 200 healing per hit, while also offering a nice DPS and attack speed increase which can help improve your king's survivability. Moving over to his Giant Gauntlet, I recommend getting it to a minimum of level 15 as it offers a solid 15-second duration in addition to having a 40% damage reduction, which is usually enough for the Barbarian King whenever he's running this equipment. His Spiky Ball, on the other hand, depends on how you're using it. If you're using it paired with any of his other equipment, level 18 is more than enough since it gives you good projectile damage in addition to hitting a few more buildings. It also grants a higher DPS and HP increase for your Barbarian King, which fits perfectly for the Snake Bracelet. However, if you're using this with the Earthquake Boots, you need to max this out for your Town Hall level so you can take advantage of the bonus damage of the Earthquake Boots and the high projectile damage of the Spiky Ball. And last, for the Barbarian King, we have the Snake Bracelet, which I recommend having it around level 21, as it offers the king a large HP increase of 3,150 in addition to having a slightly higher DPS increase and attack speed increase. You'll also spawn enough snakes at a decent level where they can be viable to keep your king alive as he helps funnel your main attack. Moving over to the Archer Queen, we want to start off with her Giant Arrow. This is largely going to depend on your Town Hall level. If you're below Town Hall 10, you can use this at level 9. If you're between Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 13, using a level 12 is necessary. If you're using this between Town Hall 14 and Town Hall 15, I recommend having a level 15, and between Town Hall 16 and Town Hall 17, having this maxed out is important as it'll allow you to remove air defenses in total. As for her healer puppets, I recommend having them around level 15, thanks to the addition of the third healer, which makes using this with the Giant Arrow more of a viable option, as it can keep the queen alive while she is funneling, which in turn allows you to have a mini queen walk for no additional cost to your housing space. From there, her Magic Mirror is up next. Since this one is far more flexible, having it around level 18 is pretty much the minimum needed to see any sort of benefits. Having 2 additional queens for a simple 25 seconds while recovering enough HP and having her HP increase by a good amount is always great. This overall will let you pair this with other equipment like the healer puppets or action figure for even greater success. Speaking of which, we have her action figure equipment, which is really strong as its minimum level is around level 21, as it spawns the giant event troop with over 12,000 HP and doing a respectable amount of damage. This is only the start of this equipment though, as upgrading this equipment will increase its tankiness even further and will allow it to be a force to be reckoned with. Next up is the Minion Prince, where we have his Dark Orb first. This is one of the strongest options for the Minion Prince, so in turn, it should be around level 15 as it offers a 45% slow in a wide radius while lasting for 15 seconds. This should overall work for plenty of strategies as the slow will last for enough time for your main troops to do big damage. Additionally, he has his Henchman puppets, which can get you the best value starting at level 12. This is due to the level 6 henchmen, as they will offer better tanking while also giving a solid increase to his DPS and HP recovery, which will allow him to do way more damage and heal even further during the attack, making it a perfect pairing with the Dark Orb. As for his metal pants, I recommend having these around level 12, as it gives the Prince a solid 62% damage reduction for 13 seconds, which is more than enough, but it will also give the Prince a solid 900 HP increase and 2200 HP recovery increase, which will absolutely keep him alive for a little bit longer. The Noble Iron is up next, and having it around level 12 is the most ideal, thanks to the 630 damage per shot increase, 10.5 tile attack range, and having 6 orbs to throw out before it expires. This overall is helpful for the Prince within funneling, thanks to the higher damage per shot and range, which allows it to pair extremely well with the Angry Jelly and the Siege Barracks. And lastly for the Prince, we get to his Dark Crown. While this might not be his best option, you can still upgrade it to level 21 if you want to get the most out of it. This is mainly due to the 24% total buff you can get, which will significantly help the Prince at higher tunnel levels in both doing more damage and keeping him alive. However, I believe that there are just better options to upgrade before you actually use the Dark Crown. Moving over to the Grand Warden, we'll want to start with his Eternal Tome first. With how flexible and strong this option is, it's no surprise that having it around level 12 is the most ideal level to start actually using this. It gives you more than enough protection for a solid duration of 7.2 seconds, which is all in part with the 0.2 second buff at every level, making level 12 a more viable option for most attacks in keeping your troops protected to do more damage. As for the Warden's Life Gem, having this around max level is the most ideal, due to the higher HP it can give to lower HP troops. Things like the Super Hogs, Balloons, or even Throwers can all take advantage of this ability, since it will give them the full 1050 HP, since they all have above 1000 HP. The Rage Gem is up next, and it remains good starting around level 15 thanks to the huge 10% jump between level 12 and level 15. This 45% buff is massive for healers and DPS troops, as it gives them more damage to work with or is able to heal even more. Keep in mind though that heroes will only get half of this boost at 22.5%. But it will still work with this buff, especially if you're a big fan of using attacks like Super Witches, Root Riders, or Dragons. The Healing Tome is up next, and I recommend having this around level 12 for the large amount of healing per second at 120 HP per second, while lasting for a long duration of 19 seconds. This will usually heal more than enough HP for your troops and will usually last long enough to get the full value within different attacks like Root Riders or Dragons. Up next is the Fireball, in which its minimum level is staying at level 24. This is mainly due to the radius being 6 tiles at this level, which allows the Fireball to remove more buildings and thus get more value. You can still use this below that level, like level 18, but they might not clear nearly as many defenses, so focus on having the radius at 6 tiles. Now, the Lava Loon Puppet is up next, and while it didn't have any direct changes, the addition of the Ice Block spell and the Eternal Tome rework have made it a more usable option. So its minimum level is around level 21, due to the Lava Loons themselves gaining 4000 HP while doing decent damage as well. This overall will keep them alive for longer, and when paired with the Ice Block spells, they will feel a lot more impactful than in the past. And finally, we get to the Royal Champion, where we want to start with the Seeking Shield. I recommend having this around level 15, as you want the most damage per hit from this projectile, which can help clear lower end defenses while significantly weakening other higher HP ones, which can work well with the Rocket Spear. As for her Hog Puppet ability, I recommend having this around level 15 due to the increased spawns to 9 Hog Riders, while also having them around level 9, which might not be the most ideal, but it is a bigger jump than having them at level 8. This is perfect for her due to still having a 1-second invisibility, which perfectly allows this equipment to be used on the back end of the base or within the attack while using Root Riders, Super Hogs, or Miners. Up next is the Haze Fowl, which is a solid equipment to have around level 15 due to this equipment giving your royal champion a 100% attack speed increase for 9.5 seconds, while also boosting her movement speed during this ability by 35.1 tiles. This overall makes this ability much stronger during long royal champion charges, especially under the rage spell. Her Electro Boots are next, and they need no introduction. Having these around level 15 is more than enough, as having 170 damage per second while gaining 33 healing per second is good enough for the Royal Champion to use this in any situation, from being on the back end of bases, within attacks like Root Riders, or even during Royal Champion charges. And lastly is her Rocket Spear ability. This is a strong equipment that can be used at 2 different levels depending on your Town Hall level. Level 9 is a good level for Town Hall 13 and Town Hall 14 players, as it gives a solid 560 damage per spear, while also having 8 spears to throw out to defenses. However, if you are Town Hall 15 and above, having this around level 18 will give you the most value, as that damage per spear moves to 770, while gaining an extra spear for a total of 9. This is best suited for Royal Champion charges early on, but can also be used in the core of the base, in some attacks, or even used on the back end of bases. So with each equipment and their minimum levels broken down, here is a glance at every equipment's minimum level that I recommend getting before you start using said equipment. However, if you want the worst and best equipment, I actually recommend checking out this video right here, and YouTube says this one is right for you.